Check, check, mic check. So for those of you who do not live in the United States, right? Those of you who are out there, we do have 50 different states in the United States. I know that's like, okay, yeah, whatever, everybody knows. But what you might not know is how diverse they really, really are. We love to do like fact videos on this channel. You know, we took a break off of it. I got addicted to like watch people die inside compilations. We went back and did some employee versus customer compilations, got really addicted to those kind of things. And, you know, you guys saw, you know, on the channel last couple of months. But we love fact videos. And one of the most interesting fact videos that we did on the channel was the facts from 50 different states, which is probably a video I'll revisit with Skitten sooner than later. This is a video of the 50 different accents of the United States. In Vegas, I do not have a very Vegas-y, you know, accent, like a Las Vegas accent. You know, we do say Nevada, not Nevada, and that is just the one thing that I can tell you. It's Nevada, not Nevada. That's the one thing where you know who a native Nevadian is. If you say Nevada, you know, is the capital, Carson City, but Las Vegas is the only place that matters. So let's do it. That's really all we have. The best part about people in Vegas, or in general, people who speak English in general, is that they don't know that they have an accent. And that's why it's really fun when you just combine us all together, you know, and that's when it gets really fun. But let's get into it, man. Play. You just combine us all together, you know, and that's when it gets really fun. But let's get into it, man. Play.
I never thought I had an accent, but everyone else told me I did, so I never really understood my accent. But we say soda pop, and that was weird, I guess.
Yeah, that's weird. It's not soda pop, it's just soda. Stop being weird.
The great thing about Oklahoma is it's really this confluence of a whole bunch of different parts of the country. So the northern part of the state is really like the plains, so people kind of have that flat Iowa accent.
People always know I'm from the Midwest when I say bagel.
But if you get down
Facts.
south to the Little Dixie portion, it has a much more of a southern
Little
drawl.
Dixie.
Elongating those vowels a little bit and saying y'all every sentence.
How y'all doing today?
Y'all want to go to Waffle House? Come on over. We'll go to
That's a
Waffle
good
House.
one.
It's just like
that
one
guy
round in
nailed
your
it.
mouth, and you're just like, hey y'all, how we doing tonight? Are you guys gonna go down to the game this weekend? I'm so excited. Like Joshua's doing real great this year.
Everybody.
Dude, hear me hear this. She said it's really rounded in the mouth. Hey y'all. Let me hear y'alls. Give me a boisterous y'all. Hey y'all.
Around in your mouth, and you're just like, hey y'all,
Hey
how
y'all.
we
She
doing
did like the shoulder drop. Hey y'all.
tonight?
true.
Are you guys
That's
gonna
true
go
as
down
fuck.
to the game this weekend? I'm so excited. Like Joshua's doing real great this year.
Everybody talks really slow, especially compared to New Yorkers.
Most New Yorkers are loud. You gotta fit your way into a conversation most often times.
That's a great
Vermont's
accent.
accent is very unique, and it's hard to slip into unless you're talking to another person who like grew up farming. But the phrase that I can say in my accent is always, "Oh sure, bud. Oh sure."
That's great. I'm gonna go back to the Kentucky one. My grandfather used to always tell me before he got old, right? He would tell me that we talk way too fast in the city. One of the biggest differences is the cadence of speech in different parts of the country, bro. Especially like in Nevada too. We got a lot of fast speakers in Nevada, and that does not translate into the Midwest. You got to take your time and really pronounce what you're saying, not mumble your way through words and stuff like that.
Joshua's doing real great this
Yeah.
year.
Everybody talks really slow, especially compared to New Yorkers.
Most New Yorkers
I love that.
accent is who like grew up farming, but the phrase that I can
I love this.
say in my accent is always, "Oh sure, bud."
Or sure, bud.
Sure.
That's so
People
good.
from California kind of have like, they say like.
Colorado doesn't really have a typical accent. Lots of people say that it has no accent, but you'll definitely get called out if you say Colorado. It's Colorado.
It's Colorado.
I've been told
Yeah.
from people in New York that my state has an accent. Some people go Chicago. I don't think we do.
There's parts that I can hear like a little bit of a twang and kind of sound like this.
Some people in New Mexico have accents, depending on what part of the state.
There's
you're
a
from.
turquoise.
People in the South tend to sound a little bit more like they could be from Texas.
Bro, she got that turquoise on her. That's what we know about New Mexico, is that kind of jewelry is everywhere. They have them in pendants. They have them in bracelets. They got them in clearly the necklace kind. I've even seen that design put on t-shirts and pants. That's what I know about them. They got weather beat down ass restaurants with that shit on the front, all faded to hell. That's what I know.
Really wide syllables, really kind of drawn out phrases.
It's a little sing-songy, like a little bit Valley Girl almost. I'm from New Mexico and I love eating burritos.
You wanna go skiing up on mountain?
Pass me those taters.
I mean, like, there's cowboys, you know, there's horses. I don't know, because I don't feel like I have an accent.
I went home a couple of years ago and was watching home videos of my sister and I, and we had to like do a weather forecast as like little kids, and we'd be like, there's a big hurricane coming from the left coast, but don't worry because we don't know that it's coming. And people would be like, what are you saying?
I can put on the,
that's good.
You gotta park the car and hop the yard and give the guy a quarter for some chowder.
All right, that's my limit. What the fuck? That's my first what the fuck moment of this video. What'd you just say?
I can put on the, you gotta park the car and hop the yard and give the guy a quarter for some chowder.
I got it the second time.
Standard Boston accent right there.
Good shit.
Any ER would have an AH at the end.
It's kind of like
Any ER?
Right there.
Any ER.
That's what he said. Any ER would have an AH. It's nigga, not nigga.
Would have an AH at the end.
Nigga.
It's kind of like Boston, but cooler and a bit more drunk. Like, we gotta go up to Baja, but to get some lobster supper.
My mom has this
That's
kind
cute.
of strange, half French-Canadian, half Boston accent that sounds like peanut characters. Womp womp. Womp womp womp.
Well, if you're from North Dakota, you've got some long O's.
Oh yeah, you betcha.
You hang on to your R's a little too.
It gets a little bit thicker the older you are. Your grandma sounds a little bit like this. Your mom might be a little bit softer.
Got
From
you.
Wisconsin, go pack, go. It kind of gets like up here, go pack. I say
Bag.
big. I have some eggs in a bag.
The best example of the Wyoming accent I feel like I've ever seen was in Brokeback Mountain. One curve in the road, and they missed it.
So if you
That's
live in
great.
Washington
She
State, no
crushed
one ever
that.
says they have an accent. They all think they speak pretty normal, which is kind of true.
Just kind of middle of the road. Sort of like Delaware itself.
But they also kind of have like a country hit kind of thing to them. So they'll say like, Worshington? Like, I'm gonna wash my hands? I'm like, worsh? What kind of a word is that?
Pronounce our T's as D's, so we say like Connecticut instead of Connecticut.
I feel like Michigan's typical accent is very nasally. Hi. Like that type of so
That sounds like every girl my brother dates.
Well, if I'm from like Northside Kauai, I'm going to sound something like this.
People say that us Marylanders have accents, but I don't think we have an accent.
That's
Idaho
funny.
doesn't have a really distinct accent.
There's no accent in Indiana.
This might be very biased, but I really don't think we have an accent.
I don't hear it, but I get reminded of it when I travel.
I mean, I think this is normal.
It's a perfect neutral Pacific Northwest tone. Sarah Palin does not have a typical Alaska accent.
That's
She's
true.
not really from there. She grew up in, I don't know, Kansas or something.
That's true. The Sarah Palin thing is a lie. You've all been fooled.
My husband laughs at me because I say wolf instead of wolf.
Our accents are all over the place.
The first one that comes to my head is a Latino one. Me voy a coger un cortadito.
There's the St. Louis accent where we say certain things like quarters and water.
Where I'm from, they like to say Hena or Mayan. That shirt over there is Mayan. From Philly, they like to say Wooder and yous guys. But in Pittsburgh, instead of yous guys, they say yins. What are yins doing?
Where are yins doing? That's good.
It's an interesting accent. It's just got a little bit of a drawl.
It's a little lazier.
Just very slow pace.
Facts.
Very good, very nice.
There's Charleston, South Carolina, which is more like this. It's more smooth. It might have a daughter named Darcy.
And then you got the real squealy southern accent. And then you just got the very just, hey, how you doing? God bless. You have a good day now.
That was super good. That was actually super good, man. I was gonna do another one of what they mispronounce. Dude, let's just run it. Let's do 50 people tell us which word they always mispronounce. It's in the suggestions after this video. I feel like it fits, and I'm really enjoying it. But yeah, run down. How many people you guys think you do not have an accent? I think you can kind of name the states. Well, maybe not name them, but when people tell you where they're from and they say they don't have an accent there, it like fits. Like even though you're like, I can hear your accent, you don't sound like how I sound when I talk to the people I talk to, but I can hear why you would say that. In Nevada, or Las Vegas specifically, there's a really funny thing happening where like the kids that are just getting into high school talk actually very different, like slang-wise, than everyone else, which was not the case when I was growing up. We definitely took the slang from the generation above us and then adapted it, and they are just coming up with words that just do not even exist, which is kind of fun. But accent-wise, it's all pretty run-of-the-mill. So.
Durians often mispronounce, according to other people, words like quarter, which we say quarter, and wash. Often people will just stop talking to me and say, "Can you say that again?"
Don't be offended, we're just interested.
What word does the state of Alabama mispronounce when we talk to people? Every other word in our sentence.
Instead of window, we might say winder.
I would say rodeo. It's obviously rodeo.
Can't instead of can't. I don't think there is a word that we mispronounce.
Do you North Carolinians mispronounce anything? Or do we say it the correct way?
A lot of words in Utah are like pretty straightforward. Like it's hard to mess up the name Utah.
People would say like water.
Maybe water? There's not a hard T. There's a lot of D's in there.
What are you supposed to say? Like water? 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 It's water.
Water, not water.
Water.
There's a water fight going on right here. It's water. But that's because that's where my family's from. We don't say water. It's water. Go drink some water. Got a glass of water. I'm drinking water. That's how I say it. It's water. But I'm from, my family got access to us. That's how we talk.
Anything with an R, we usually mispronounce. You gotta pack the car and have it out and get the gotta quad for some chowder.
That's her thing.
We say,
I like
we put
that.
an R at the end of it, so it becomes idea.
My dear becomes my dear.
They say ambulance.
Nuclear.
Caramel.
Coffee.
Pin.
Oh my God.
Almond. The word southern. I guess the proper way to pronounce southern is southern.
Southern.
People from southern Delaware have a slightly more southern accent.
I'm from Cincinnati, so I tend to have a southern drawl.
I think people in Texas mispronounce the word oil instead of oil.
A lot of people say oil.
Bag. Bag.
Flag.
Wait.
A lot of people say oil.
Bag.
Oh.
Bag.
Big.
Flag. Or like anything with a long A.
Or bagel.
Bagel, bagel, bagels, bag, bagel, bag. There we go.
When you put in GPS and you hear what GPS says versus what you say are different things.
Well, North Dakota isn't North Dakota as much as it's North Dakota.
North Dakota.
People often
Oh,
mispronounce
fuck
Boise. Boise.
Norfolk, Virginia, like Norfolk.
Illinois. Most people say it Illinois.
Oregon. Everybody on the East Coast says it's Oregon. It's not. It's Oregon. I don't know what people are doing.
People from my state often pronounce Nevada. People say Nevada.
Okay, the most popular word that's probably mispronounced is Nevada. It's a Spanish word, probably, which is supposedly supposed to be pronounced Nevada.
There's a big debate about whether the state of Arkansas is Arkansas or Arkansas.
Crayon. Some people say crown in Arkansas, like they just change it to CRO.
It's whatever it is.
It's fine. We know what we're talking about.
If you feel confused this part of the video of how you say what you think you say versus what they say that you say, then you are feeling the correct feeling. You're supposed to have this like, you should be re-saying it as they say it, like the right and the wrong way. At a certain point, you should be getting confused if it's really in you.
Leggings instead of leggings. And then any word with a T in it, we're gonna drop it.
Mountain. It's mountain, I guess, is but we say mountain.
I really doubt that there's anyone that really takes the time to say mountain or button. That just sounds weird.
Takes the
Sometimes you'll say
time.
it's cold outside. Or you'll say wash rag. You hear that a lot.
My mom used to always say that she was gonna go wash the clothes. And sometimes we travel to Washington.
So if there's a word that gets mispronounced in Washington, it's gonna be from the older generation, and it's Worshington. And all of the youngins, we say, no, it's Washington.
People from Hawaii might sometimes speak in what's called pidgin, which is kind of a slang we use on the islands. And Hawaiian pidgin might sound like, "Hoi, bro, you going to hit walls today? You going beach? Kere, me too. Hoi, hungry, bro, hungry."
I like how, and dude, the best part is that a lot of language is acting it out. That is definitely a part of it. And when people go into their accents and then you see their face change and they express different, that is 1,000,000% like right down the line. It's exactly what you want to see. That's how you know people are really, really entrenched, in it. You know what I mean? Like you gotta put yourself in it.
Anytime I talk, people say you sound like you from New York, so it varies from word to word. So I don't know which particular said word that people always say that we say wrong.
In Pennsylvania, a whole saying is often mispronounced, or it's just shortened to make it easier. You be the judge. But instead of saying, did you eat, you ask someone, G?
If someone's last name is Richard, it's Richard. It's not Richard. And if someone's last name is Herbert, it's Abear, not Herbert.
Abear? That's better than Herbert, I think.
There's a lot of Abears and Richards in Louisiana.
Abear.
So maybe that's my answer.
That's cute. Abear, I like that. Abear. Abear. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that a ton. I enjoyed that a ton. If you guys have followed the channel and you guys are not new, then you know we make a ton of accent jokes. At least I do. And I make a ton of mispronunciation jokes, right? Let's see what I did there. Did the thing. Well, I don't do it as much when I'm alone because it's very dry humor, and I stopped doing that as much while I was by myself because it was just creating mass confusion when my channel started growing. Yeah, I give a ton of mispronunciation jokes because I think it's so interesting, the English that my dad speaks versus my mom versus my family versus my friends. And I spend a lot of time with a lot of different people, and I really enjoy those interactions. That's something I spend a lot of time studying professionally, and there's a lot of time spent actually engaging with personally. So you see that love for it here. But if there was one thing I would be passionate about, it's probably human interaction, how we communicate, why, how it functions, how rhetoric and stuff like that functions based on the way that you interact with individuals. That would probably be my one actual passion that I would just qualify as that, study-wise at least. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was very fun for me to do, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.